This video is all about how we transformed this boring, rundown office space into this. Hi, my name is KOREWAA. The year was 2023 and had started my real estate company, Select Estate, 2.5 years after relocating to Ghana. I needed an office space and I needed it fast. It is a startup, and so I was working with a tight budget. One day, very soon, God willing, Select Estate will own its own sprawling, magnificent office building. I just know it will happen. But for now, an office space big enough to house my employees, a space where my customers can come to comfortably transact their business was all we needed to start. So I looked at a couple of spaces and settled for this office because it is in a perfect location. Kindly like this video now to help me with the algorithm. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. I was excited to meet up with the plaza manager to do my first inspection, and it turned out to be a fixer-upper. But that's okay. It had potential. So I settled with the landlord and I was good to bring in the big boys to get straight to work. This is a before tour of this office space. The previous occupants sold supplements in this space and they used these plasterboard divisions to display their products. After thinking through my needs as a business and how I wanted to proceed with the space, I quickly came to the realization that the space was not big enough for what I had in mind. Luckily, I had noted that there was a smaller office space right behind this one that was not yet occupied. So I called the plaza manager early in the morning on the very day that I was ready for the various tradesmen to come in and inspect the scope of work, to discuss the possibility of renting the extra office and also about getting their permission to open up and merge the two rooms into becoming one office space. The manager came around, we negotiated the rent terms, and I took him around explaining what I had in mind. We discussed the scope of the work, what they would allow, and what they want, and soon we were good to go, and I was very, very excited. Soon the gentlemen began to arrive. First up was Adam the painter. I told him about my chosen color scheme and we discussed the project at length.
My company no colors black and gold. Okay.
Up next was Moses the POP guy. For those of you who have followed my channel for a while, I'm sure you know Moses from when I was building my getting started house. He looked at what needed to be done, most of these plasterboard divisions needed to go, and I explained my vision for the space to him. Then came Mr. Halm or Emmanuel the electrician. Again, most of you would have met him in my other videos. I explained what I wanted in terms of lighting and he explained what needed to be done to accomplish my ideas. The glass partition guy, Isaac, came next to take his measurements. Ventilation was very inadequate in the space. The windows had sliding glasses which didn't do much for airflow, so I wanted Isaac to change it to louver blades to bring in more air. Now, having these men together at the same time meant we could discuss the project together and each one of them gave suggestions and very soon we had a plan. With all the discussions done, I was good to take off and allow the tradesmen to come into the space to commence work. Other tradesmen that worked on this project included masons, a plumber, a burglar bar welder, a tiler, the CCTV installation guy, the signage guy, the technicians who fixed our internet connections, cleaners who helped with the tidying up, and 3 different carpenters. One whom I contracted to make me a small 2-seater sofa, the second carpenter made the reception desk, and the last carpenter worked on fixing new bathroom doors and did some carpentry work in the ceiling. Moses, the POP guy, came in to demolish most of the plasterboard along the office wall, taking out all the wires that had been installed by the previous occupant. At the same time, Mr. Ham, the electrician, had his team taking out all the light fixtures by the previous occupant, and these were all handed back to the plaza manager. Then it was time to demolish this tight old bathroom and create a more spacious one away from prying eyes by building a much longer block wall. The idea was to create privacy for people using the bathroom whilst also creating a backdrop for where the reception or front desk will be. The plumber then got to work uninstalling all the old bathroom fittings to make way for the new ones which he came back to install later in the project. With the acquisition of the second smaller office, we were now able to open up a space in the wall that divides the two offices and merge it together as one to make our office space much, much bigger. So they got to work cutting an entryway in this wall. Meanwhile, the masons were also building another wall in the front office, which was for two purposes. One purpose is to serve as an anchor for the glass partitions that will become the small offices, and the second purpose is to become a feature wall for a decorative space. And as I always do, I came around from time to time to make sure everything was staying on course. The block work for the feature wall was done, and the bathroom/front desk wall was also nearing completion. And the opening in the wall was done, making it possible to step into the back office. The carpenter came in to create more anchors in the ceiling to give it the strength to carry the weight of the POP, after which Moses and his team got to work installing the POP in the ceiling in the outside corridor in front of the office. The inside walls were getting plastered, and we needed to open up the windows in the two bathrooms for more ventilation, like so. Mr. Halm and his boys came in again at this stage to fix electrical stuff. Every tradesman was doing their bit and things were moving along beautifully. Prosper, the second carpenter, came to the office to take his measurements for the creation of the front reception desk. I gave him the design I wanted and the color scheme, and he went back to his workshop to make it happen. At this stage, Isaac, the glass guy, and his boys got to work installing the new louver blades, making the space a lot cooler and airier. After working on the corridor ceiling, Moses, the POP guy, and his team came to work on both the front desk wall and the office partition wall, sprucing them both up to look like this. Meanwhile, the tiler and his apprentice were working on tiling the newly created bathroom as well as the second bathroom in the back office. Eden, the painter, and his team were up next. They stripped the wall of the old paint, painted the ceiling, then put the putty filler on the wall for smoothness, after which they got to work painting the agreed-on color scheme. Then we had a major plumbing mishap causing the whole office space to flood. There were no cleaners around, so my business manager and I got to work mopping up the spill. The office partition gig was up next, and Ike and his team were back in working on it, and soon the black partition frames were up and everything was looking good. Meanwhile, Mr. Halm, the electrician, and his team came back to work on the light fixtures and ceiling fans, whilst Ike and his team were finishing up by fixing the glass into the partition frames. And then it was time for the fun part. We got the two-seater sofa delivered to site from the local carpenter's shop, and it was off to China Mall to get some office chairs and the other office furniture. Once that was done, I headed into Deco Zone to get some ornamental pieces, wall hangings, carpets, and faux plants. With everything I needed in hand, we headed back to the office to put it all together. We hung up the pieces that go on the walls, whilst all the different tradesmen worked on the final finishing touches, and the CCTV cameras were also installed. Prosper the carpenter came in next to assemble the front reception desk as well as the sink cabinet, and the select signage stickers were plastered on the glass wall outside the office. And just like that, we had turned this old boring space into this. Considering that this is not a professionally designed project, no architect or professional interior designer was involved, I reckon it turned out pretty well for a budget project conceptualized in my head. What do you think? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section below. And now we have happy employees working from this office already serving numerous clients, and we are ready to serve you too. If you are anywhere in the world right now and you're looking to buying land here in Ghana in a beautifully designed community, we've got you covered. We are currently running an Easter promotion which ends on Wednesday, the 3rd of April. We have reduced our land prices, and we currently also have an 18-month installment payment option running during this Easter season promo. If you are interested or wanting to get more information about land from select estates, get in touch with my sales team who are working during this holiday period simply to serve you so that you don't miss out on this crazy Easter deal. Click on the WhatsApp link in the first pinned comment section below this video, or screenshot the contact details currently showing on the screen to get in touch with us. We are happy with how our office turned out. I hope you like it too. Tell me what you like about this project in the comment section below and kindly like this video. See you in the next.